And I don't think this is hyperbole at all from two guys that have lived it for decades and decades and decades. There's never been in this rivalry what you're going to have Saturday. There's playoff implications.
Wow.
There's Heisman.
Wow.
There's Heisman implications. There's conference title implications. You're talking about two top 10 teams.
It's the last time as Pac-12, opponents playing together. And Herbie, I think it's great that, I think this I'd love your take on this. Now that this game is moving as two Big Ten teams to a new conference, is this maybe the beginning of this game getting the national reputation that it should? And also, I'd love to ask you, do you like these rivalry games mid-season? You had the Red River last week, USC, Notre Dame, or should they be moved maybe to the end of the year like your big game is and some of these other ones? Do you like having them this time of year? And maybe is this the beginning of something really special on a national level with this Husky-Duck rivalry?
Yeah, I think it depends. Like, if you're going to go look at rivalries, I think you got to look at history. And so like OU Texas, it would feel weird to me if OU Texas were in late November, early December, because we've grown up with it where it is. Same with Ohio State, Michigan. What I think's interesting, Damon, is we're going to go to this 12-team playoff. And so, like, if you're Ohio State, Michigan, and you win in Ann Arbor or Columbus, and it's like, oh my gosh, what a celebration. And now we're going to still have a conference championship game, and chances are without divisions, you have to potentially meet again.
Yeah.
Looking at that rivalry, like, as an example, it's like, I think it potentially takes the sting away if you play it last week of the season and then you play a week later in a neutral site, and then potentially you play in the playoff. Imagine Oregon, Washington, if they played at the end of the year, and then they played again in a conference championship game. I just think that's my only concern about the future that we're moving into is what will this do to people that say, this game didn't matter anyway. I mean, I heard that last week, OU Texas. It's like, it doesn't matter. They're going to play again in Arlington, end of the year.
Fascinating.
I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Of course this game matters. And honestly, with this 4-team playoff and before that, the BCS, the one thing college football has always had is our games every week have felt meaningful, edge of your seat, who wins, who loses. Whereas the NFL, and I'm a major NFL fan, but you can start 2-3, kind of right the ship, get on a little run, everything's fine, get into the postseason, get hot at the right time, make a run, right?
Yeah.
In college football, and you can make an argument that that's better. I just like college football, every game you feel like, holy cow, my team better win this week. There's so much at stake, and I worry when we go to 12 teams, we potentially, lose some of that urgency from one week to the next.
And lastly, it's just, do you have any sense and feel yet for the actual matchup on the field? Have you done enough, read enough, started to get a sense for, gosh, is this going to live up to a 3-point, I think, Huskies favorite?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously juggle my week. I've got the Chiefs and the Broncos and Kansas City, but I also, look at film and get ready, just like you. And Breck, what it's like. I mean, you get ready and look. And I've watched these teams almost every week. I'll be honest. My one thing that I'm concerned about is I don't know yet. Kind of like Ohio State and Michigan. I just don't know how good these teams are at this point. I mean, they look great. And then you look who they played, and obviously these are going to be their best opponents that they've faced when they face off. That's the exciting part of this in college football. You get to a point where you think you know Georgia, you think you know Michigan, and then they step into the ring with somebody who's got similar talent. It's like, okay, now we go. And that to me is this game. And if I were concerned about one thing, because Washington's going to score. They're going to score on anybody they play with the skill that they have and with the way Michael's playing. My one concern for Washington is the run defense. I think they're pretty good. I think they can hold up, but Bucky Irving and Jordan James and Bo Nix, I mean, that's a different animal in the scheme and the tempo. So that part of it, I think, could be a big factor in this game. Obviously, anytime there's so much emotion, which of these quarterbacks is able to just kind of let the game come to them and not feel like they have to live up to the hype and try to make a play. And just, and I think the experience of both these guys, they're kind of grizzled veterans, with everything they've been through. How about, by the way, Bo Nix has had like 4 or 5 different offensive coordinators.
Yep.
You know, he moved up there to go with Dillingham. He ends up going to ASU. Now he's got Will Stein. You know, at Auburn, that was an issue for him. The guy's been through so much. And then with Penix, I mean, the injuries and everything he sustained. So I think we're gonna see these offenses are worthy of the hype. I just want to see which defense can hold up and how much of an advantage playing at Seattle will rev up that Husky defense.
Herbie, you're the best, man. That is a whole huge chunk of time with some fun stories and the Wayback Machine, and have just a great time. Yeah. A great time. And I know you will Saturday. So I always appreciate you, bud. Thank you.
You're the best, Herbie.
Hey, anytime, guys. Love to catch up with you. It's cool to have you both on here. So that was a great time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. There he goes, Kirk Herbstreit.